Welcome. Today we're talking about the Arbutus Place. We'll explain the name in a second. Uh, this is coming from the San Antonio Coalition of Veterans and Families. This is on our YouTube channel. You can help us out by hitting the like button, subscribing to our channel. We're lucky today. We have a special guest. Our person, Sandra Banks Dance, founder and CEO of the Arbutus Place, a remarkable person on a remarkable mission. I want to say something here. I've known many people who've gone a mile a minute and not gotten anything done. Sandra goes a mile a minute and can't keep up with all of the things she's doing because there's so many and there's so many things to do. And I mean that as a compliment. The mission: provide hope through prayer, food, and other needs in the Med Center community and beyond. It's a nonprofit charity organization. Their location on Wurzbach, 6800 in San Antonio in the medical district. I give two phone numbers there that you can contact them on and their email. Their food drive is every third Saturday of the month. Usually there's 2 times a year where it's the fourth, but that's due to the logistics involved. They're on the campus of Trinity University Methodist Church. They give the address. That's off Wurzbach between Babcock and Evers. And to reach their Facebook page, that's the QR code. Escape. There we go. Sandra, you're doing remarkable work. How in the world did you get involved with this?
Thank you, Bob. And I want a couple of corrections. I'm very honored that you have considered to allow me to tell the Arbutus Place story. But I want to note that 6800 Wurzbach is the address, mailing address for the church, Trinity United Methodist Church, not for the Arbutus Place. The Arbutus Place is located right next door in the school, what was a private school for 75 years. And that address is 5319 Newcomb, Newcome. The other piece, real quick, is we are not Trinity University. We are Trinity United Methodist Church. They will catch me on that one real fast.
My apologies.
That's all right. That's why I was trying to see the slides, but it's all as well. We don't have a mailing address because we're co-located with a new daycare that's opening, and that is their address. So we are still working on an address, even though this is year 5 in service. We don't have a mailing address, so they have to text or call, or we make arrangements through my address or some other way. I haven't had that be an issue in all this time, but the physical location for our food outreach is 5319 Newcomb. Now, you asked me how in the world I got started with this. Well, it goes back a ways because I came here from Washington, D.C. I was recruited into the Department of Homeland Security to run airports in South Texas. I had never been here. And we had done a national recruitment for TSA after the horrible events of 9/11. And I dropped everything I loved and cared about in Northern Virginia and D.C. And I came here with my belongings shipped here and put in a office. Didn't even have a place to live because we were in a state of crisis for quite a while. After I did that for 8 years, running 8 airports, I knew I had to get involved locally in volunteering. I had done many things in Washington, D.C., and I did not know San Antonio well, and so I became a part of Master's Leadership Program, which takes 50 people every year and shows you what the city's about, and then you decide if you want to join a board of a nonprofit. It's not a training, it's not leadership development. It's adults who already have had careers and are now looking to give back in the city where they find themselves. Many others like me came from somewhere else. So I first was put on the board with the San Antonio Humane Society, and I helped a number of other ministries in town until I was led to start. I owned a home at the time in the medical center, and I had joined the Trinity United Methodist Church, and I was led to go back and start food distribution because of my mother, Arbutus. That's her first name, which is the name of a flower that grows wild in the mountains of Virginia. And she just was a very giving person, and food was really her passion. She couldn't stand it. We came out of an area of great poverty in the Appalachian Mountains, and then there are areas here of enormous poverty and food insecurity. So we started with nothing, literally a hope and a prayer. And we had no, in fact, we started the week of the first cases of COVID. Everybody thought we were crazy, but you know what happened is all the other food banks closed because you went inside. Nobody went to volunteer and nobody went to shop. And so, because I had helped several other nonprofits around town, they loaded up trucks and said, call Sandra. And they brought truckloads of non-perishable food and clothing and hygiene, just unbelievable, truckload after truckload. And we've put them in a gymnasium. I still had no domicile for the first year and a half. We had to, whatever we were given, we gave it all out outside on the parking lot where we are now located. And also a church on the west side, Pastor Jimmy Robles, with Last Chance Ministries, huge food outreach, 18 wheelers from the food bank. He heard about me and he said God told him that he's supposed to bless me with food. And for an entire year, Pastor Jimmy gave us every kind of food you can have, hundreds, thousands of pounds of food, high quality, organic eggs, almond milk, bread, chicken, just everything you can name. And we gave it all out to thousands of people. We used to do clothes. I believe we've figured about 15,000 people ended up with clothes, but clothes is a challenge, takes more space, takes more time. And it's my volunteers didn't want to do clothes. They want to focus on food. So we gave away the most of the rest of our inventory. It took a long time because we had enormous amount. And now our focus is just food. We don't receive money from any federal agencies or any state agencies or even any philanthropists, except for individuals. I call them angels. Sometimes people just call and say, what do you need? And they send it. Sometimes I don't even know who they are. And it's kind of amazing, but people have been good to us, and we've been able to uh, to give out everything we receive. We have a angel that gives us barbecue, which is cooked and smoked and seasoned, very special. So I think we're the only ones in town that give out this barbecue with the produce and unperishable items. The need has increased this year. It's at least doubled for us. We are partners with the food bank, San Antonio Food Bank, just since January of this year. Before that, it was all private donations.
Wow.
Every bit of it for 4.5 years was just given. Somebody pull up and say, I've got a truckload of this, or I've got a carload of that, or what do you need? And they would run to the store and come back. It was a lot of people had trouble even believing that, but that was our experience, and we were very, very blessed. So now the need is increasing, and I have new volunteers. I have some new board members, and they're reaching out and bringing in more and more volunteers because we think this is going to be a steady increase. I think we had 102 cars. Oh, we also are a little different. We're not really a pantry, we're a distribution center. You drive up, you don't get out of your car. We ask a couple of questions for the food bank. We don't keep data on anybody. And then we load up the trunk or the back seat, just like we did during COVID. And we usually have live music, someone playing and singing outside. And we try to make it a joyful experience. So we had an overrun of cars this last Saturday. And well, the word is out, and also a lot of local programs that are the safety net in our city are losing their funding. And that means the need is increasing for seniors, for veterans, for public workers, firefighters, police, first responders. And now they cut the Meals on Wheels. Now they're cutting SNAP, which means mothers and babies will be having to get in line for food. So we would love to work ourselves out of a job, but the chance of that is slim to none. We're just not going to be working ourselves out of a job. In fact, we're going to need to increase our inventory, increase our volunteers, and increase even the number of times that we open for distribution.
Wow, it's amazing. Sandra, on a typical Saturday when you're doing distribution,
Uh-huh.
what's it look like? What's your
Well,
day look like?
okay. Our biggest day is the Friday before. That's the day the San Antonio Food Bank truck backs up, and they have a policy that's very strange. I would never have known about it until we became partners. If you request delivery, because you can also check when you put your list in of food you're requesting for that month, you can check pick up and you go over to the food bank headquarters, back up and load up, and you go. But if you check delivery, which we do, you must also take 2 additional pallets of items. You don't know what the items are. Sometimes the items are not food. So it's a challenge when the truck comes in. We don't know what we're going to be sorting, what we're going to pass on to other nonprofits, what we have to do. It's quite a process. It's very heavy pallets, very heavy items. So I need muscle. So one of our partners and a new board member is Constable Leticia Vasquez Rodriguez, who is the constable for Precinct 2, where we're located. She sends 5 or 6 of her deputies over, and they unload and do whatever we need done, and then they go back up and go back to work, and they come and help with whoever else is there, and it makes a huge difference. So Friday is a hard labor, sorting, unloading, packing, just filling shelves, filling bags on Friday. On Saturday at 9 o'clock, everyone that's going to serve that day comes inside, and we run over who has to handle non-perishable, who's going to handle the meat, who's going to handle the bread, who's going to handle the liquids. And we decide what items are going to go in the bag: PB&J, mac and cheese, spaghetti and sauce, et cetera, and we put a label on the front of the shelving that's on the wall. 1 of this, 2 of this, and so forth. And then there's 2 or 3 people assigned to bag things. Over on the other side is a series of long tables that are covered with produce, whatever they give us. We never know ahead of time. Last week we got 1,000 oranges. So we had to open all these bags, sort them, and put them into black containers to go into plastic bags. The non-perishable food goes in a cloth bag, and we're always short on bags. And then if there's overflow, this time we got gallon jugs of juice, of cran apple juice, of V8 juice, of iced tea. So those are freestanding. It's a lot, really. And by the time we add the meat and the bread and the non-perishable and the produce, it takes 2 men to put the items in the cars, and it's that much per family. So if a car pulls up per family, I call per household. So say there's two households, very often two households in the car, they get all of that times two. They get exactly the same thing in two loads. If there's three families, three households in the car, they get three. We have certain people we trust that we've worked with for years, and they will take the families that don't have a car or can't make it, but they're all registered with us. We have certain questions we ask for the food bank: name, age, address, phone number, etc. Certain things. I also now check to track veterans, and the number of veterans coming is increasing, and we're very happy about that. The reason that things are also increasing is our marketing is improving. Believe it or not, next door, where people respond to when I say, "How'd you hear about us?" They say, "Ring." That's next door. Well, I have 3 or 4 people put us on next door the week of the event, and it makes a difference. An awful lot of cars pull up and say, I say, "How'd you hear about us?" Ring. So that works, going to meetings and reminding people with the veterans and with seniors. And then we post it on both sides. On Wurzbach, it's electronic. On Newcomb, it's manual. And so the neighborhood sees those when they're driving around. We cover 3 zip codes on Nextdoor: 78228, 78229, and 78240. And that's the immediate neighborhood, but absolutely anybody can come get in line.
Amazing. Just amazing. So if a person wants to volunteer, they can call
Yes, either one
volunteer.
of those numbers, yes. And then we have a process. I've got a new head of volunteers, Peter Tiarina. He would return the call. He will send some pages that is called a volunteer manual. It just kind of talks about us and a few do's and don'ts. And it's just they just can respond and say, "I've read it and approve," and that's that. Then they come in, and it's sort of trial by boots on the ground. They
Sure.
get a talk through, they get a walk through to see the process where we store things. We have 2 big rooms. Our second room has refrigerators, freezers, a desk, a storage, and a number of things. And they see sort of how the process works in and out those 2 rooms, out the front, and so forth. So it's a very busy 2 days, extremely busy. And I'm pretty sure after all this time, we're going to have to increase our availability because the need is getting so much, which means because we're kind of wiped out right now, I've got to really step up my request for donations of food and finances so that we can get our inventory back and prepare for an onslaught of even more people. Well, I understand some people could not stay in line. That's never happened. That it was just so long. And I know in other places where I've worked with food distribution, sometimes there's a long wait, and people understand that, but we're not used to that. We move so fast getting people in and out. We kind of pride ourselves in that. But I realize we're going to have to be patient with ourselves too, because the lines are getting much, much longer.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
Well, I would like to thank the San Antonio Veterans Family and Families Coalition of Veterans and Families for your beautiful support, for being so kind and welcoming at your monthly luncheons, and for you, Bob, for being so tenacious to get.
That's it. An inside joke. Okay.
Oh my goodness, to get this recorded. It is very humbling. It's very important to us that people know that we're there and that we care and that we will do our very best to meet the needs. I would like to say we do have a fundraiser coming up on November 21st at the San Antonio Marriott. Airport, Marriott San Antonio Airport. Sorry, I said it wrong.
This
Uh,
is in 2025. We won't go live till January, so we'll miss
oh, okay, never mind. This
that.
won't go into, okay. Okay, well, then between now and the rest of the year, we're just gonna be busy with the holidays and trying to get some HEB gift cards to give out next time so people can buy
Sure.
what they want. They can buy turkey or ham or all vegetables, anything they want, as opposed to trying to do distribution of turkeys and hams. And we know this is a very busy time of the year, so we're thankful. We're thankful for what we have, and we're grateful for friends like you and the coalition. And we just want to do what we're doing, and we want to do more of it.
Okay, I started this by saying a remarkable person on a remarkable mission. And that is true. And I had the opportunity to drive by during your last distribution.
You did?
You have not misstated anything. If anything, you've understated what you do.
Well, you
Um,
saw it.
so yes. So just
Wow.
keep up the good work.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much from the
Thank you.
community for what you do.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And we're honored to be able to be on your broadcast. Thank you, Bob.
All right.